Good afternoon, guys. Today's Wednesday, working Wednesday. Hope y'all had a good one today. Hope y'all stayed blessed. Hope y'all's health is good. We're here, Lewis, with West Side Stories. And we also have my nephew here, Justin, from Life of a Felon. We just got out the gym. We did a good workout today. It was crowded in there. Everybody's trying to get their money. Did legs. Kind of hurt my kneecap, so I gotta take it easy. Kind of went too hard, so I gotta be careful with that. I started taking some kale. You should take your kale. Kind of really, it works for your cartilages and bones and knee joints and stuff like that. If you're into the health and fitness. So today we want to talk about what's been on my mind and marinating and simmering. I want to talk about felon in possession of a firearm. Also want to talk about ignorance of the law is no excuse. Again, my name is Lewis, and I wanted to give y'all a background of myself, a quick summary of myself for those of you who don't know me. I don't want to assume for those who watch this video for the first time, they don't, I want them to know who I am. Born and raised in Corpus Christi. I have a wife. We raised 6 children. 2 are grown adults. They're in their late 20s. They live successful and happy lives. The other 3 all work at Bill Miller's, so they're doing good. They're working. That's good. We did right. So I did 15 years in prison, state, adult, and juvenile facilities combined. I have six escapes under my belt. I have 11 fights. Lost 2, but you win some, lose some, right? So I have a master's in business administration. I have a bachelor's in legal studies. I have a bachelor's in criminology, that is crime in the street by experience. I have a bachelor's degree in drug addiction. So that's me, guys. So our goal here is, again, as you know, light the next man's candle. We want to spread the light, spread the word. These streets here today are getting bad. It's like we're living in the 90s again. All these young kids are killing themselves, killing each other. A lot of fatalities, a lot of death. Kids don't know. They don't know till it's too late. That's why you got guys like us to tell you what it's like, what you're gonna see, what you're gonna do. It's easy to get in prison, but it's hard to get out. Easy to get in, hard to get out. And nowadays, them judges are handing out sentences like candy. 20 years is like the new 5-year sentence. 20 years ain't nothing. 20 years ain't nothing. Now they're handing 30, 40, 50 ag, life sentences, double life, triple life. It's not worth it. So I wanted to talk about felon in possession. By experience, I have a family member of mine. He picked up a crime he didn't even commit, and I trust my brother. I trust my brother that he did not. He did not have. It was a throwdown gun. I don't know, for those of you who know that that's a term in the streets. A throwdown gun is when an officer plants a weapon in the scene of the crime, or anything really for that matter, and they charge you for that. So when they run your background, they know who they're dealing with. As I stated earlier, ignorance of the law is no excuse. These laws are so complex and what is that word? Intricate. They're very intricate. They're very technical and detailed. You have to know what you're doing. They have these laws that they can get you. They have enhancement laws, law of parties. So my brother was given 20 years for felon in possession. He did 20 years for that in federal prison. They made it federal. So he had what they enhanced it by, because he had 3 felonies, non-violent. So that's where we came into play to fight a law came out, a federal law came out late, like 4 or 5 years before he got out. So we started fighting that case. We started fighting this case, and well, we lost the case. We were close to winning. We almost made Fifth Circuit law until this other decision came out and overrode that law. But we were so close on our arguments, on our evidence. So, I mean, my point is, what I'm trying to tell you guys is that, you know, these young kids, they run around with these guns and they have prior felonies, and they don't know the law. They don't know that the district attorney can enhance that and send you to federal, you know, and that's, I believe it's 15 years to life, and they go by a point system, so they can use any little thing in your past to give you more time that you can even imagine. So yeah, it's not worth it, guys. Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Have you met any kids in there that have had that?
Yes. By the way, yes, that's a good question, because when I found out my brother had that charge, I was in state prison, and I immediately told guys like, hey man, you know, this is what's happening out there. And they were interested, like, wow, I didn't know that. I said, yeah, you know. And I've met other guys too where if they catch you with a bullet, or a bullet casing or even a bullet shell, you know, they're handing out federal time, you know, like it's candy, you know. And as we all know, once you're in there, it's hard to get out. You know, you're in prison. Once you get into prison, it's like, you know, you can pick up other crimes in there, you know, or as we all know, you know, it's dangerous in there. You know, you can get killed. You know, you can get brutally murdered or hurt. So, you know, the life of crime is not worth it. It's not worth it.
What was the youngest that you've came across in there?
The youngest?
For a charge like that?
I can't recall. I've met so much people, so many inmates, so many charges, so many just different cases.
What can you tell the kid that comes across this channel if he comes across it and is thinking about, you know, a gun and all that, or trying to impress his friends? Is it worth it?
Yeah, hopefully somebody is watching this, because like I said, it's very dangerous, you know, to carry guns with you. You know, if you get pulled over and you have a gun and you have 3 scratches on your record, like I said, they can make it federal, and sometimes your time won't even run concurrent with state. So what that means is you'll have to go do your federal time, then you'll have to be bench warranted back to the state and finish whatever time you're doing there.
What does that mean, like benched? What's that?
Bench warrant, that means they put a hold on you whenever you're about to be released from the federal system, and the state will go get you.
So it's just like a big process.
Assuming you have any other charges on you at the time, because sometimes they can carve. It's called carving doctrine, and that's another legal concept that just came across my mind. It's called the carving doctrine, where DAs they can create other crimes within that same instant that they stop you. You know, for example, you may have had drugs on you. You know, drugs or paraphernalia, or maybe even hanging with another felon, you know. So that can be state, so that means you got a state and federal charge.
And the judge can just give you whatever he feels like giving you.
Yeah, that's a good question, because the federal, as far as I know now, and we'll probably do a part 2 of this because I haven't done my research. Some of them laws, they change daily, or they change rapidly, you know, so you got to be updated with the law. As far as I know, they want it to, it's like a point system. The judge really doesn't have discretion. He has to go by this point system, so he's obligated to do that. He doesn't have discretion. So in other words, he can't have mercy. He can't have equity on you. You know, he can't look at the circumstances, your situation, and, you know, any other evidence that can downplay you or your crime.
What do you think if it's somebody who's never been in trouble, never even had nothing on their record? Do you think that they can still pick up a high sentence for having a gun for the first time?
No, no. Well, speaking of that, I think recently Texas passed a law where you can carry guns without a license here just recently. And there's a meme about that. Is it called meme or meme? How it's ironic how you can have a gun without a license, yet you need a license to go fishing here in Texas. That is. Yeah. So again, a lot of these, what I'm talking about has to do with Texas law. Well, federal law is going to apply throughout the United States, but a lot of times what I'm talking about here now is the state of Texas. Another thing that's on my mind now, maybe we should save it for another video, but is, can a felon have a weapon in his possession and control after being convicted? So the answer is yes and no, and it depends. So everything's on a case-by-case basis. So I'll just throw this out there right away. There is a way where you can have what they call pre-1893 weapons. Those are the old revolvers, where you can actually carry those around with you. But again, you gotta seek an attorney, look at the facts of your case, your situation. But generally, that's probably applicable to, I would say 50 to 80% of the people who have a scratch on their record. So that's another option you can have too, to keep in mind if you want to protect your family and feel safe, because as you know, we do have a Second Amendment right. So that's something that you don't want taken away from you. My situation, I've looked into, my crimes are so old, early 90s, 92, 93, 94, where I am able to have a gun in my house only, and that's the only place I can have it at, in case, for protection, of course.
So what do you think of one of the, like, when you were getting out, when you got out, what was like the last law book that you read on something like that? Like a felon having a weapon. Did you ever study that in there? Was there books on that to educate other inmates in there on things like that before they got released?
No, the only case that was controlling at that time that was popular was, if I recall correctly, it was Lopez versus USA, and that case there it's about 100 pages. So, but yeah, that's to answer your question. Yeah, that was about the only book that I read about regarding them laws about possession of a felon. There's a few United States Supreme Court cases on that. So, but again, seek an attorney if you wish to look into that, because those options are available. So, but my whole point of all this is to deter kids, people, enlighten those, or advise those, and let those know that having a gun on you, if you have a criminal conviction, it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. Like I said, keep in mind they're handing out time like candy, like it's Halloween, so it's not worth it, guys. It's not worth it. It's not worth having a gun on you, It's not worth it. Not only that, I mean, you're fortunate if you even get caught with the gun, because if you use that gun against somebody, God forbid, you use it on somebody and you murder somebody, that's even more time. So, it's just not worth it, guys. So, all right, guys, we're gonna let y'all go. We just wanted to touch base with you guys. Excited to be here. Really excited to put this one out, to let it circulate. Hopefully it goes viral. And again, these are Texas laws. And again, our goal and mission and vision is to enlighten those who sit in darkness. And just stay safe, guys. Stay safe, and God bless you guys. We'll see you on another one. Thanks.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to a West Side Story.